how to make the ultimate sweet tooth recipe. This is by far my most requested recipe, and you guys, it is amazing. It is the cinnamon roll recipe with the cream cheese frosting, and I'm so ready to show you how to do it so you can do it at your house and make them for all your friends and family. They are so fluffy. It's just unbelievable. Let me share with you what you're gonna need. We're gonna start off with the dough. So I'm gonna show you the ingredients that you need for that, and then throughout the episode, I'll go ahead and show you what you're gonna need for the filling and the frosting. So for the dough, you're gonna need some flour. This is just all-purpose flour, some warm whole milk. Please use whole milk. This really does make a difference. Some melted butter. I have some salt and sugar, 1 egg, and some active dry yeast. You can also use rapid rise, but that's just gonna be to where you can mix it all into this. You don't have to let it rise. It really is simple, but I love the smell that active dry yeast gives. It really makes you feel like you're in a bakery, and it's just amazing. Let me show you how to start this recipe. So I went ahead and heated up the milk, and I just heated it up for 45 seconds. You want it to be between 110 to 115 degrees. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the salt and the sugar to this. And I'm adding the sugar to activate the yeast so that it'll help it rise. And some people think that salt is gonna deactivate it, but it's not gonna do anything. So I'm just gonna cut this open. And if you have the jar of active dry yeast, you can go ahead and it's 2 1/4 teaspoon of active dry yeast if you don't have the packets. So I'm gonna put this in there, get them all out. And I just wanna stir it around, and then I'm gonna let it sit to the side and rise for about 10 minutes. Our yeast only has a few more minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and start on the dough by adding in the melted butter, and you wanna use unsalted for this. I've used salted before, and it really does make a difference. And then crack the egg and put that in there. You don't want any shell. All right, and then we can add the yeast. Y'all, look at this yeast and how much it's risen. It sat for probably about 10 minutes, and it's already so much better and so much thicker, and it smells amazing. I mean, look at that. All right, so I'm just gonna stir it back all together and add all of it to the mixing bowl. I put this dough hook on the KitchenAid. Okay, and I'm just gonna beat this on low. All right, that is perfect. I'm gonna add in the flour kind of a little by little, so I'm just gonna probably pour in about half so it doesn't fly up all in my face, and so that everything can just be incorporated pretty evenly. There we go. That looks good. And I'm just going to mix this on low until everything is combined, and then we'll add in the rest of the flour. I'm gonna go ahead and add in the rest of the flour. This dough is honestly my favorite dough to use for everything. It is so soft and fluffy and chewy, and all you want in a cinnamon roll is perfect. Okay, just a few more minutes on this dough and it'll be ready to turn up the speed. All right, can you see how everything is pretty much coming towards the center except for the bottom, and everything looks really good. I'm gonna go ahead and turn up the speed so that everything is gonna be well combined, and let that mix and roll for about 3 more minutes. The dough is perfect. I'm gonna show you what it looks like in a second, but what I have here is just a glass or metal bowl is what you can use, and I wanna go ahead and spray it with some non-stick spray. You can also drizzle on some olive oil. Woo. You can also drizzle on some olive oil and just rub that around. So this is what you want your dough to look like. It is still pretty tacky, but tacky enough to where it's not gonna like completely get all over me, like completely, whatever, get all over me. So this is what it needs to look like. Do you see how perfect that looks? It's stretchy and soft and beautiful and has no clumps, but it's still pretty tacky, but this is exactly what you're looking for. So what I'm gonna do is kind of form a small ball, and then I'm just gonna rub it around the oil so that all the sides can get in that oil. This is just so that it doesn't form a skin when it is rising, all right? And you wanna cover it with plastic wrap. and put it in a warm spot for about 2 hours or until it doubles in size. I like to keep it in my microwave, but make sure that the microwave isn't on, and if it is above your oven, make sure that it's not getting too hot in there, because I've done that before and it actually cooked the dough on the sides of the glass bowl. It was not pretty. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in there for about 2 hours. Guys, look how much it has risen. This is awesome. It rose for about 2 hours, and I just have some flour on the side. I'm just gonna go ahead and sprinkle some down there, punch that air out, and then we're just going to peel it off the sides. And it is so soft. You can just feel how soft the dough is gonna be, or how soft the cinnamon rolls are gonna be by feeling the dough. Like if you have tough dough, then you are probably gonna have tough cinnamon rolls. I'm just gonna use my fingertips to press it in and out, just making sure I'm getting everything perfect. All right, now I'm just gonna form a ball again. And what we're gonna do is we are just going to press, kind of like a pizza right now, and I'm just gonna press it out until I get the length and the width that I want, okay? So that's probably, it needs to be in the shape of like a rectangle. So I'm just gonna continue pressing. You can also use a rolling pin if you'd like, but the dough is really so soft that you can do it with your hands. The dough is rolled out to the perfect size, and now I'm just lathering on some butter. This is half a stick of softened butter, and you can do it melted, but I just find that when it's softened, it really holds on to the cinnamon and the sugar really well. So I went ahead and mixed together the cinnamon mixture, and in here I have some sugar, some brown sugar, cinnamon, and some cornstarch, so that when it starts to become gooey and just beautiful. Cornstarch really helps to thicken it up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna sprinkle this on. I already lathered on that butter. And don't be afraid to lather it on. It smells so delicious. And you wanna leave just a small gap on the outskirts so that it's not falling out when you roll it. You guys, I wish you were here. I wish you could click a button to where you could smell this. I'm gonna go ahead and roll it now, and you wanna roll it the long way, so I'm gonna roll it this way. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fold it over for the first round, and you wanna do this pretty tightly. And then from there, I'm just gonna use my fingers to lightly push it under and fold, and just do that the whole way. When you're done rolling, you wanna go ahead and just pinch the two together, the ends. You can also dip your finger in some water and tap it around the dough, just so that it helps seal it. All right, guys, we are now to the point where we can cut them. It is beautiful, and what I'm gonna do is, I really don't like to use the ends, so I'm just gonna kind of cut those off. They're never filled with anything that much anyways, but the way to get the equal slices is what you wanna do is you wanna find the center and cut the center first, okay? Kind of bring that back together so nothing falls out. And then from there, just keep cutting down the center. This is gonna help you get 8 equal slices. So I went ahead and put the cinnamon rolls in the 9x13 dish, and they look stunning. I'm very ready for them to be ready. So I'm gonna cover them with a lint-free towel and let these rise for about an hour or until they're doubled in size. All right, so I had a little bit of spill, so I had to hurry up and go change, but I let these rise for about an hour, and then I just brushed on some butter, put them in the oven at 350, and let them bake for about 20 minutes. And guys, they smell divine. I'm so excited to put the icing on these and just eat one. I just want you to look at how big they are and how delicious they are. You could even double the recipe and put 4 in a row. I've done that before, but guys, these smell heavenly. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the icing, and this is a really thick icing or glaze, really whatever you wanna call it, but it is thick because it has cream cheese and butter, but boy is it good. That's all I gotta say. All right, so the ingredients you're gonna need are some powdered sugar, some softened cream cheese and some unsalted butter, some vanilla extract, and then 2 to 2.5 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. I'm gonna use a KitchenAid mixer today, but you can use a whisk, or you can use like a hand whisk. And I'm gonna use a paddle attachment. And all I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna actually first put in the cream cheese and butter and just combine those. I'm gonna mix this on low or until it's well combined. All right, so the cream cheese and butter are all combined. I'm gonna go ahead and add in the powdered sugar. Put it all in there. Perfect. And the vanilla. Awesome. I'm just gonna go ahead and add in like about a tablespoon at a time, just to make sure that I'm not putting too much. A little bit more, and I think that'll be good. I've used about 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. Look at how velvety this looks. That's like the perfect word for it, because it is so smooth and just delicious. So all I'm gonna do is just kind of pour this on there, and then because the cinnamon rolls are hot, it will begin to melt them, melt the icing, and it will just be delicious. So I'm just gonna continue doing this until they're all coated. It is time to taste these. Cut so easily. I'm just using a spatula to get it out of there. Oh my gosh. Wow. It's done. This is so good. I don't have to make anything else ever again because these are so good. It has that thick cream cheese glaze, and it's creamy and doughy and just fabulous. Wow. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe. Click the link below to get the written recipe.